All right. Uh, Good morning to one and all of you guys. We're going to continue our discussion with regards to configuring the ServiceNow connector uh, with Oracle Identity Manager. Okay. So in all the previous modules till now, we've talked about configuring or probably generating the OAuth client ID and the client secret by logging into the ServiceNow portal, and then we actually, in the second module, we installed the ServiceNow connector on the OIM machine. Yes. And then in the third module, we validated the various connector objects like the resource object, schedule task, lookup definitions, process forms, and so on that got actually created when we deployed the connector. And yeah, and then in just the previous module, we talked about the IT resource parameter configuration. Yes. So basically, we actually, we configured the IT resource parameter. Okay. And then yeah, so in now in this particular module, we are going to primarily, you know probably I would say, like, we'll be importing the SSL certificate, okay, for ServiceNow. I'm going to quickly write it down here. Okay. Import the SSL certificates, and then we'll be, configuring the Keystore parameters. Okay. So basically, OIM would be communicating with ServiceNow, and the allowed encryption mode, the allowed mode of communication is primarily via SSL. Okay. So let me just quickly log into the ServiceNow. Okay. Okay. So here, as you can see, I've just logged into my ServiceNow console, and on the top left hand side, you see the the padlock icon. So we just download the certificate from there. Okay, I've already downloaded it on my desktop, so I'm just going to show you what I did. So we just click on the certificate option. Okay, sorry, let me just click on this. So I just click on certificate, and then it just gives you an option to copy the or export this particular certificate. It just comes up with a certificate export wizard, and then you just click on next, and then select this .cer format, the first one, and then just click on finish. You give the path where you want the certificate to be downloaded. Yes. And then I just I've already done it here. Okay. So here my certificate is Snow Cert May 18, because I just give the date when I exported the certificate. Okay, so I just save it on my desktop. Now, after importing the SSL certificate, the very important concept comes into picture, which is the configuring the Keystore parameters. Okay, Keystore basically, it's one of the important concept in WebLogic, or anything that is deployed on WebLogic, because OIM is actually deployed on the WebLogic application server. We have to be know a little bit background about what the Keystore are, why do you have to configure the Keystore parameters. Okay, so basically, whenever any application is going to be talking to, whenever any WebLogic application server is going to be communicating to the third party application via SSL, okay, then it has to present a certificate, right, to trust. So this particular certificate would be saved in a location called Keystore. Okay, so WebLogic Keystore ideally comes in two formats. One is, I'm going to quickly write it down, guys. So one is the trust Keystore, okay, and then the second one is the identity Keystore. Okay, so basically the trust Keystore is normally used whenever any third party signing or certificate, like root certificate from certificate authority is involved, and all that, you would be placing the certificates in the trust Keystore. Identity key store comes into picture whenever it is to manage your own certificates internally, okay. And then whenever you have to authorize to the third party application, okay, then you'd be presenting the your own certificates which would be placed in the identity key store. So basically, I'm going to quickly navigate to my WebLogic admin console. Okay, so here I'm just logging into the WebLogic admin console. Okay, just okay, I think I've already written it here. Okay, WebLogic admin console. Okay, so it basically listens into port 7001. Okay, so we have not talked much about the WebLogic admin console. Okay, I'm going to probably cover that in some of the separate modules when we talk primarily about understanding the WebLogic concepts. So here I've just logged into the WebLogic admin console and then click on the servers part, okay, the servers option, and then here you would see the various managed servers that are managed in this particular WebLogic domain, okay, and OIM is one particular managed server. So I just select the particular managed server. In our case, we are going to primarily focus on OIM, okay. There once I go there, you would see an option or the tab that says key store, okay. So once you click on the key store, you would see the trust and the identity key store details, basically the location where the key stores are located in your OIM machine or on your WebLogic machine, okay. So this is the one, okay. And you also you also have something called the demo identity key store that is also there. And so as I said, identity key store and the trust key store are the two formats in which this key store comes into picture, okay. So basically, Keystore has all your certificates, and that is the primary thing which we wanted to know in this particular discussion. Okay, so the trust Keystore would be here, the C Oracle middleware server library, and then you have this, and also under this JRE library securities, you have the CA cert one. Okay, that is you have both the demo trust key store as well as the library, sorry, the CA cert key store. Okay, there are two certificates which we'll be focusing on, or the two I would say two key stores that we would be focusing on. Okay, so this is the one thing which I wanted to actually show you before we actually jump into the importing SSL certificate into the relevant key stores. Okay. So now, in order to import this, key store, okay, I'm going to quickly, give you some commands, or probably I will show you some commands, which would be using. Okay, so let me go here, and I've already, copied some of the commands. So in the interest of time, we'll quickly, see what are those. Okay, okay, so these are the ones. So basically, you first log into the key tool path, okay, where your key tool is located. So ideally, it will be located in C program files, okay, where your Java home directory, okay. Here I go here, and then Java, JRA, bin, okay. Here you see your key tool utility here, okay. So this is where we have to, execute your key tool commands, okay. So then you give this command would be of this format, okay, key tool -import, and then you give your alias name. So here I've actually put my alias name, or I would say like I've saved my alias name as Snow CRT to identify it as a ServiceNow related one, okay. And then you have to give your keys to. So first one, I'm going to import the CA cert related one, okay. So it is in this particular file location, which is JRE libraries security CA certs, okay. So let me go back here, and here, so I just give import alias name, then I give my alias name, and then the key store CA certs, and here I'm going to give the what kind of CA cert it is, the trust CA cert, okay. And then I will be calling the file that I need to give the complete file name where my certificate is actually saved. Or okay, as I showed it earlier, I've put my snow certificate, whichever I copied it, or I would say whichever I exported it into my desktop location. So I need to copy this entire file, or I need to put my entire file location here, and then you give the password parameter. So for the default one, the CA set, for the CA set, the default password is change it. Okay, so I need to call out this entire command here. Okay, so let me go here. Let me open my command prompt here. Okay, and then because I've already done this step here, ideally it should tell me my certificate is already placed. Okay, so let me see. See, it shows it's already existing. So just to verify, I can just give my list command. Just to verify, I can just give the list command here. Okay. I need to give the keystore password. So for CA set, as I said, it is change it. So ideally in production environment, you'll be replacing it with the appropriate complex password. Okay. So here, as you can see, the snow cert MA18 is already in there. Okay. So at the time of importing the SSL certificate, you would be prompted with a password. So once you enter the password, you get all these details. You will see the various parameters related to ServiceNow. Okay, and then it will give you the issuer details and then the serial number, valid from the certificate till when it is valid, and what kind of algorithm it has and all that. Okay, so it will show you all these details, and then in the end it would ask you whether you want to trust the certificate, and then once you click yes, it would say that the certificate was added to the keystore. Okay, so that is the very first step which you will be doing, okay, as part of importing the SSL certificate. And then just as I mentioned, you have the both CA set as well as the demo trust. So once you have done the CA set, you will be also be downloading the same SSL certificate into the demo trust keystore. So for that, you would be following the similar step. Okay, so the command format is same. Okay, just you give the key tool import alias parameter, and then you give the keystore. But here, instead of CA cert trust CA cert, you just call out or you just refer to the demo trust keystore location, which is C Oracle middleware WL server library demo trust.jks. So just in case if you are not sure about the demo trust location, we can actually refer it from the WebLogic Admin Console. So that is the primary reason I actually logged into the design WebLogic Admin Console. So once you give this, and then you copy this, or you just call out the entire file location where you have exported the SSL certificate. It is the same thing. Okay, and then store pass. And for the demo trust keystore, the default password is demo trust keystore passphrase. You give this complete password, and then you'll be following the same step here, and then you should see that the certificate is actually you'll get the similar message saying like the certificate has been added. Okay, added to the keystore. So after this, we are done with importing the SSL certificates. Okay, so we'll be in the subsequent module, we'll be running the some of the jobs related to ServiceNow. Okay, so if our configuration is successfully, if all our configuration, whatever we have done so far is successfully done, then our job should run without any error messages, and then we'll be able to proceed with our configuration steps like creating the application instance and then finally testing the provisioning configuration. All right. Thanks a lot, guys, for patiently listening. Thank you.